Hey guys, here's your video lecture notes on water and solutions. So water is everywhere and it's used for almost anything. And we're going to talk about the importance of water and the importance of water on life. 70% of your body is water. In animals, that's true. And in plants, it's about 90% of plants, it's water. Your cells are filled with water. Cellular events take place in water. Cells are surrounded by water. Water is used to move nutrients and other substances in and out of your cells, providing the nutrients or taking out wastes. Lots of uses of water in your body. Water is important because it helps maintain homeostasis. Homeostasis is a balance, keeping things balanced in your body, making sure everything's working the way it's supposed to be working. Other things about water, it absorbs heat slowly and retains its energy longer than other substances. And how does this help humans? We'll talk about that as we go along. So in your journals, you probably want to write this chart and fill it out as I talk and while you take your notes. We'll talk about these different properties of water and how it helps support life. Transparency of water is that water is see-through. It's clear. And because it's clear, light can pass through the surface of water and through the atmosphere and into the lakes and oceans, providing energy for food chains, right? If water wasn't see-through, if it was opaque, then sunlight wouldn't be able to get to those producers and autotrophs to start off the food chains, and we wouldn't have any life in water on our planet. Stickiness, cohesion is stickiness of water refers to cohesion and adhesion. Cohesion is the attraction between substances of the same kind. So water sticks to water. So like in that picture there with the water droplets on the grass blades, you have these beads of water, and that's because of cohesion. The water or molecules are attracted to the other water molecules, holding them together in those beads. And another example is surface tension, and those beads being held together as a result of surface tension. Insects like water striders are dependent on the fact that water has surface tension so that they can walk, find their food, move around, find mates, and you see those on walking on the top of water. And the reason why water can do cohesion is because of the hydrogen bonds in the water. Adhesion is attraction between water and a different substance. So like when you lick your finger to grab paper to separate it, that's a result of adhesion. The water on your hand after you lick it sticks to the molecules of the paper fiber and adhere to it, and that's why you can grab onto them better when you lick it. Capillary action is another example. This is where water moves up faster than gravity can pull it down. So if you take a paper towel and hit the tips of it into like water, you see the water start moving up into the paper towel. That's capillary action. The water is attracted to the molecules of the paper towel and continues to move up. In nature, adhesion is important because plants need water to photosynthesize. Photosynthesis occurs in the leaves of the plants, but they get their water from their roots. So the water has to be able to move up through the plant's stems all the way to the leaves faster than the gravity can pull it down. And they can do that because of adhesion and cohesion. High specific heat. This is the fact that water requires a large amount of energy for it to raise or lower the temperature of water. And it's also due to the hydrogen bonds. Water can act as a transport medium for heat throughout the body. So when you are working out and you get hot and sweaty, the sweat is a result of your body trying to cool itself off. And it does that by the water absorbing the heat, being a transport medium for the heat, and taking it to your skin. And when it exits out to your skin, it evaporates off, taking that heat with it. And that's what works to cool your body after, if you've been running or working out or something and your body's all hot. In nature, water buffers the temperature changes in the earth as well as your body. And because the earth is mostly covered in water, about 75% covered in water. It actually helps maintain the temperatures on the Earth. There's not a sudden change in temperature from winter to summer, and that's because of all the coldness that's been trapped on the Earth during winter slowly gets warmed up, and it takes a lot of time and energy for that to happen because water has a high specific heat. And so there's not a sudden change from hot to cold or cold to hot. We don't have ponds suddenly freezing over in just seconds. It takes a lot of time for that to happen and for it to defrost as well, and then maintains temperatures on our Earth. Water is also an excellent solvent. That means that things dissolve into the water really easily, and that's due to water's polarity. Here you can see water, which is the red and the white ones, dissolving sodium chloride or salts, which is the green and blue ones. They kind of use their negative and positive charges to bond with the negatives and positives in the salt, and it dissolves it up. And it's all because water is polar. Water only dissolves other polar things. That's important. If something doesn't dissolve in water, it's because it's not polar. And that's what makes water an important medium for metabolic reactions, the chemical reactions happening in your body, because it can dissolve things to help that to happen. And then you can transport those dissolved compounds like nutrients you got from your food or medicines that you've taken and transport it to wherever it needs to go in your body. And I think lastly, ice floats, which is very important in nature because it helps prevent lakes and other surface bodies of water from freezing. If they had frozen over, started from the bottom and worked their way up, then the things that lived in that pond or lake would die from being frozen over. It's all due to the hydrogen bonding. So the hydrogen bondings, like in this picture, spread out evenly when they freeze, and because they freeze that way, spaced out, ice is less dense than water, and so it floats. All right, so let's talk about polarity of water. This is because water has a partial positive end, which are the hydrogens, and a partial negative end, which is the oxygens, and this polarity allows it to dissolve things into the water. The ions, which are the charged parts, having a positive or negative charge, at the end of the water attract things that have the opposite charge. And because of that, things can become evenly distributed in the water. So nonpolar molecules do not dissolve well in water, so that's why water and oil don't mix, because oil is not polar. And that's important in the human body because there's parts of your body that you don't want to dissolve, like your cells. The membranes around each of your cells have a polar and a nonpolar parts. The nonpolar parts are the insides of the membrane of your cell, prevents things from dissolving into the cell that you don't want dissolved in there. All right, let's talk about acids and bases. There's a hydrogen bonding of water are strong, but occasionally break, forming hydrogen ions, which are H pluses, and hydroxide ions, which is the OH negative. So water can be broken into H and OH. Acids are compounds that form hydrogen ions, so you end up making more H pluses. Bases are compounds that reduce the H plus, so they take away the H pluses in solution. And so you measure acids and bases on a pH scale, and that indicates the number of ions that are in the solution. So the lower the number of ions, the more H pluses you have. And so the scales is 0 to 14, where water has a pH of 7, where it's right in the middle, and acids are less than 7, and bases are more than 7. So each whole number represents a factor of 10 on the scale. So a pH of 5 has 10 times the hydrogens ions than pH 4, and 100 times the hydrogen ions have a pH 3, 10 times every time. So there's your introduction to water, polarity, and acids and bases. Make sure you've gotten good notes. Water is obviously a super important aspect of life on our planet and in biochemistry as well. Make sure you got some good notes and you understand. Bye guys, have a good day.